you may be familiar with the EveryLife Foundation, but we're really excited. We have so many new advocates with us, so for those of you who know us already, just bear with us, because we're all excited to have all of you with us. So the mission of the EveryLife Foundation is to accelerate biotech innovation through science-driven public policy, and we advance those goals by advocating for practical and scientifically sound policies to increase the predictability of the regulatory process. And you help us by that by responding to action alerts and joining us for events such as Rare Disease Week and Industry Lobby Days. We believe as no disease is too rare to deserve treatment, all new drugs for rare diseases should be safe and effective, and that we should be doing more with the science that we already have. We serve and support rare disease patients. We promote awareness about rare diseases. We advance regulatory science and policy. We drive public policy and legislative change. And we build a grassroots advocacy community that we're proud to have all of you as part of. Some of our community support programs are the Rare Giving, which provides more than $100,000 in funding to the rare disease communities in grant and travel scholarships to make sure that policymakers and regulators hear directly from the patients and families who are impacted by rare disease. For Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill, we're giving away nearly $80,000 in travel stipends and have nearly every state represented this year, which is our best participation yet. And then we'll also be doing stipends for some of the regional conferences that we'll be talking about later today. We have the Rare Artists Contest, which promotes awareness of rare diseases and highlights the talents of the rare disease community. This year's contest will begin accepting entries in June, and you'll have the opportunity to see some of the winning pieces from the 2016 contest at the Rare Artist Reception tomorrow evening, and we're really excited. We have several of the artists who will be there at the reception talking about their work and how they express their experience with rare disease through their art. We also provide financial support to the North American Metabolic Academy, which trains and encourages the next generation of rare disease physicians and scientists. And those of us who are patients know how important that is, to have physicians who understand us and our diseases, and to have researchers making the breakthroughs that we need to get more treatments and hopefully cures. Our public and scientific policy initiatives are the Community Congress, which brings together patient organizations, industry leaders, and rare disease stakeholder organizations to provide insight on prioritizing future initiatives. We have an annual rare disease workshop that convenes leaders from the Food and Drug Administration, the National Institutes of Health, patient advocacy organizations, and biopharmaceutical companies to improve the clinical development process for rare diseases. The topic last year was expanded access. We also, another initiative you'll hear from my colleague Julia Jenkins in the breakout session on state-by-state issues. We sponsored pilot legislation in California last year that will require the state to screen for a disease once it's on the federal recommended uniform screening panel. The legislation was signed into law in September of last year, and we're excited. This year we'll be working in Florida, and the legislation was introduced on Friday. Again, you'll hear more about that if you choose the state-by-state breakout session this afternoon. And then another policy initiative is the Orphan Products Extensions Now, Accelerating Cures and Treatments, and my colleague Max Bronstein will speak about that in a panel later today. Really excited. It was introduced in the House yesterday, so you'll learn more about that later this afternoon. You're probably familiar with Rare Disease Legislative Advocates. That's the host of Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill. We educate patient advocates about how public policy impacts the availability and access to treatments, provides resources to patients, caregivers, physicians, and others in the rare disease community to help empower them to be legislative advocates. We have an online advocacy center and legislative clearinghouse for all rare disease legislation at the state and federal level, and it builds awareness on Capitol Hill and, again, ensures that Congress hears directly from the patients, caregivers, and others in the community about the impact of rare disease. So we have Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill. This year we have more than 600 people registered to join us for at least one of the events. We have more than 300 people participating in Lobby Day tomorrow, and you'll learn today how to build effective relationships with members of Congress and staff and how to partner with federal agencies. We do in-district lobby days during the congressional summer recess, which we encourage all of you to participate in. You'll hear in one of the panels, you really want to build a relationship with your member of Congress. That doesn't mean just showing up once a year. That's important, but it's just part of building the relationship. So we try to make it as easy as possible, and we'll schedule meetings for you so that you can meet your representative and your senators in their closest district office to, again, continue to build that relationship. You can follow up if you had whatever you asked them to do during Rare Disease Week. This is a great opportunity to either thank them for doing it or to remind them that ask is still out there and you'd love to have them co-sponsor a bill or join the caucus or whatever you decide is your key legislative ask for your meetings tomorrow. The Rare Disease Legislative Advocates also coordinates the quarterly meetings of the Rare Disease Congressional Caucus. We have a briefing on Thursday at noon, and we hope you can all stay and join us for that. You can also, when you have your Hill meetings tomorrow, you can invite the members of Congress and staff to join us. That's one of the goals of the Rare Disease Congress, is to educate members and staff on the issues that are of key importance to the rare disease community. And then we have the Rare Voice Award in November. I believe it's the 15th this year, and that recognizes advocates and congressional aides making a difference in DC and the state capitals. And I can tell you, as congressional staff, the members are important, the staff are really important too. They do the background work. They're the ones who help the member prioritize issues. They're very important in helping if the member of Congress is the lead sponsor. They're very helpful in working on other offices to add co-sponsors. So if you were expecting to see a member of Congress and you end up with the staff, that's still a great opportunity to build a relationship with that office. One of the tools that Rare Disease Legislative Advocates has are action alerts, and we partner with any rare disease patient or organization that wants to work with us to make a difference. So if your organization is doing an action alert, please reach out to my colleagues Max and Viggy, and we can help promote it. Two of the recent ones we did, the National MPS Society had an action alert in Missouri, and Research America had an action alert. I believe that one's still open for a fund to enable the Centers for Disease Control and National Institutes of Health to have a fund for public health emergency. So if your organization has a state or federal initiative, there's a bill you're trying to get sign on or encourage people in that state, reach out to us, and we may be able to help you. We can amplify your voice. We have monthly webinars. Any individual or patient advocacy organization is very welcome to contribute agenda items, from pending legislation to new resources. NORD's State Impact Report last year is a great one. You can see how your state ranks. So either resources or other resources or new policy papers. Again, we want to help you reach more people, either with your issue or your resources. And we archive webinars on our website so that if you miss the monthly call, you can access the information easily. As I mentioned, in-district lobby days are held over the summer during the congressional, most people call it recess. Congress likes to call it the district work period. So it's sometimes members are a little bit less rushed. They don't, bells aren't going off. They don't have committee hearings. When I worked for a member, you were more likely to have his attention in the district office. So definitely take advantage of this. It's a free service. We set up the meetings for you. You can let us know when you're not available. Don't worry, we're not going to ask you to come back from vacation. You tell us when you're available, and that's when we'll make the scheduling requests. It's also a great opportunity to meet other advocates in your region, because we pick the date that works for the most people who are in the area. And please keep in touch with us. I do the foundation social media, so I'm going to just take a minute and take a picture of the full room and tweet it. We'd love to have you tweet during the week. You'll hear from Eli Lilly later today about staying in touch and amplifying your message and your meetings through social media. So Robert mentioned the hashtag is RareDC2017, so please tweet your thoughts, tweet questions. It's a great way to engage other people and a way for us to reach more people than can join us by live stream or in the room. So everyone say cheese. All right, now you're all famous. I did want to take a minute. The list of foundation staff is in the booklet near the front. If you have a question during the week, it can be hard to see our name badges, so take a look, find us. You can send us, after the event, if you have questions, send us an email. And I did want to take a minute, if you see my colleague Lisa Schill, she was the lead in putting together this program and did just a fantastic job. So please, if you see her today, take a moment to thank her. And then we would really appreciate, we looked through the forms that were submitted last year. We reorganized the day a little bit, and then we looked back on that information when we were setting up Rare Disease Week for this year, and really took your suggestions on how to make the event better to heart. So please do take a minute to fill out the form. If you're not interested in the $50 Amazon card someone will win, just know we do take your suggestions to heart and try to improve this for next year. And then we do have a special announcement. I was hoping Angie Rowe of Global Genes could join me. So as I mentioned, we have the in-district lobby days, and as part of that, we want to make sure that people are ready for those meetings because we know not everyone can join us for Rare Disease Week on Capitol Hill, whether it's financial or health reasons. And so last year we did a series of 3 regional meetings. We were in Boston, Chicago, and Seattle within 3 days, which is a little bit crazy, as a way of preparing advocates. And so this year we're going to make it even better by partnering with Global Genes.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to DC, everyone. I hope you have a great week. I'm Angie Rowe. I'm with Global Genes, and I'm excited today to announce a partnership between Global Genes and the EveryLife Foundation called Rare on the Road. Together, we will be hosting 3 regional meetings for advocates, capitalizing on the strengths and resources of both of our organizations. What is the most important about this partnership to both Global Genes and the EveryLife Foundation is that we will be working together to support, share resources, and collaborate with the rare disease patient community. So, thank you.
And so if you're are near any of these areas, Atlanta, Kansas City, or Portland, we hope you'll join us. If not, we hope you will help us when registration opens. We hope you will spread the word and encourage people that you know either in the areas or if you're active in an organization, if you can let them know. We'd love to be able to reach more people and train them to be advocates. We have a lot of work to do on Capitol Hill, and it won't all get done tomorrow, although tomorrow will be a great start. Thank you.